Hello guys, welcome back to Lighting and Ring class. Hope you guys are familiar with Maya interface and UI. Okay, the same Maya interface and UI and lighting techniques. Okay, whatever we learned in the previous classes. And by this time, you guys are familiar with the light properties as well as you guys got some good idea about interior lighting. All right. So in this class, we are going to learn about exterior lighting. Okay. So in this class, I'm going to use some various steps. Okay. This class going to be a little bit detailed. Okay. I'm going to show you some more advanced tools and options, views. Okay. Something which is very advanced than the previous classes. Okay. And my class usually goes like I always start with very basics, and gradually I used to increase the difficulty of the classes. Okay, the difficulty of the classes means I will be showing you more options, more shortcuts, more interface, more tricks, more techniques. Okay, so guys, whenever you just watch the video, okay, I recommend you to watch video in your desktop. Okay, in your computer. Okay, please don't watch this video in mobile phone. Okay, mobile phone has a smaller screen. Okay, with that you won't be much convenient with lighting and rendering. Believe me guys, lighting and rendering is a final pipeline of 3D industry. Okay, so who used to learn lighting and rendering? The one who already knows the basic of Maya, basic of texturing, basic of modeling, okay, and good with Maya interface. They used to learn lighting and rendering. Okay, lighting and rendering is an advanced technique usually, but the thing is, every pipeline has basics. Okay, so it won't affect. Okay, if you are very new to Maya and you are learning lighting and rendering in the first class, okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, you won't find some trouble. Okay, it's just the matter of understanding the UI. If you understand the UI properly, then anyone can do a lighting and rendering. Okay, if they have lighting and rendering uh, uh, perspectives in their mind. Okay, so guys, what I suggest you to do is, okay, lighting and rendering doesn't have any theory. Okay, you cannot read and you cannot do it. Okay, it doesn't have any theories. Okay, it's purely based on practicals. Okay, you have to understand your real world lighting and you have to apply in the Maya lighting. Okay, so whatever you are doing in the 3D CG lighting. Okay, so what I recommend you is, please analyze your environment. Okay, when you are walking in the street in the daytime, find out what kind of color you are just getting in the environment, and what are the colors you are getting, and what is the brightness of the light. Okay, the example is sun. Okay, how your sun reacts with a different time. Okay, sun is not stable, constant. Okay, in every seconds or every hour. Okay, every hour. Okay, your environment light changes according to the sun's position and the time. Okay, and the same for the evening light and the night light. Okay, it depends on your interior lighting. Okay, how many lights you have in this room. Okay, depends on that. Okay, your objects reacts, and the light bounces in your room. So you have to analyze it. Okay, lighting and rendering is a pure art, guys. Okay, lighting is a pure art. Okay, you have to understand your environment first, and then you can apply very easily in Maya or any other software. Okay, the software doesn't matter here. Okay, the only matter is your idea. Okay, so this is what the thing is which I want to share you at the beginning of the class. Okay, sorry, something is just open. Okay, so now let's start with the class here. Okay, this class we are going to learn some lighting techniques with exterior model. Okay, so purely based on architecture model. Okay, if you have an architecture render, if you want to make an architecture final output, then how to make architecture lighting and rendering. Okay, rendering is something, guys, the lighting means you're just adding light in the scene. Rendering is making some renders. Okay, that is purely based on your automatic computer performance. Okay, um, it's a computer process. Okay, it will generate image for you, depends on what input you have added in the scene. So it will give you a complete composition of your frame. Okay, so that is called rendering. Okay, rendering means just taking image to the final output. Okay, the scene to the final output as an image or video. Okay, so here, before I start the class, okay, I have a folder structure here. Okay, this is a exterior lighting. Okay, this is a project folder. You can see that project folder has several folders inside. Okay, each and every models will be linked with these folders. Okay, if you have a script, then your script will be your scene linked with the scripts. Okay, the scenes, um, every scenes will be um, sorry, oh god, you know what, I just pressed something and now I have so many windows. So here is my folder structure. Okay, the thing we were just discussing about. Okay, so this is my folder. Okay, and here I just wanna I have a scene here. Okay, house exterior. This is the Maya file which we are going to work right now, and these are the textures which is used in the model. And this model is not mine. Okay, I have just downloaded long back. Okay, for some other classes. Okay, I just because I cannot create a model and then I cannot make a scene. Okay, it takes a lot of time, right? So better I will be using some downloaded models. Okay, this is just a material which I had long before. Okay, so right now I'm using it for you guys. Okay, so now so these are the things. Okay, and what we are going to learn today. Okay, so we have this is my final render when I was just doing this lighting rendering. Okay, before the class. Okay, so I just took render image for you guys so that I can show to you. Okay, so this is a final render which we are this is the expected final render. Okay, which we are going to get in our scene. Okay, so this will be your output shortly when once you complete the process which I'm going to teach you right now. So here, so now let's go to so this is the folder which I'm going to use as a project for this window. So go to Maya file. Okay guys, what I'm telling is, okay, if you want to create a new project, okay, you go to file, and under the project you used to create a new project. Am I right? So now I already created a new project. This is already a project. Okay, now I want to open this project in my Maya. So now go to project. Okay, go to file, project window. Okay, under the project, find set project. Now you are going to choose which folder you want to choose as your project. So I want to choose this exterior lighting folder as my project folder. So now when I just click open here, okay, you can open your file from two ways. Okay, one is go to file and open scene. Okay, or go to here, the open scene, or you can just hit Control O. Okay, there are three ways you can open your project scene. Okay, so now I'm just going to open my scene. So now you can see that, okay, exterior lighting, okay, which the folder I selected, and the folder is inside the scene. So here, it is selected here. Okay, the default, it will choose the proper destination or proper directory. Okay, once you set your project. Okay, so now I'm going to use exterior house. Okay, so guys, that's what I was telling in the beginning. This model is not mine. So when I downloaded or when I was using, I think it is an older version of this model is created in some older version of Maya maybe. So I'm just getting some error. So I'm just going to ignore the error. Okay, so nothing gonna happen here. Okay, it's fine. So now you can see that. Okay, now I have a scene here. So I have a scene here. Okay, look at here, the scene. Okay, maybe you can see that this tree is an original tree, but this is not an original tree. This is just a plane. Okay, they have just added a texture into the plane. Okay, these things you will be learning on in your what is that modeling class. Okay, modeling and texturing class. So here uh, the scene is completely without light, but it is proper texture. You can see here it is properly textured. Okay, it has added all the colors, everything is proper. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are just going to add lights into the scene. Okay, we are going to look into how to do exterior lighting. Okay, with different techniques. Okay, guys, I will be teaching you more exterior light, more interior light. Okay, more product light. Okay, so I will be teaching you many techniques. Okay, and you can compare to my previous classes. Okay, I won't repeat same kind of steps. Okay, there will be something new styles. Okay, I don't follow same style, but though I have my own style of lighting and rendering, but I'm showing you all the multiple way of styles. Okay, these all are I'm just including some new styles and new techniques each and every classes. So watch my classes very carefully. So here you can see that in the outliner. Okay, if you don't find outliner in your Maya interface, okay, you can click here. Okay, if you don't find outliner here, then you can click here. Okay, in the left side, the last button here. Okay, this is the outliner. And if you don't find this button over here, then go to window, go to window. Okay, and here you can find outliner. Okay, you can access outliner in this two ways. Okay, so now I'm just enabled my outliner. Outliner is nothing but just list view of all the scene. Okay, the objects in the scene will be listed um, in the outliner. Okay, so you can see that there are trees. Okay, exterior wall, roof, door, window. Okay, scones. Okay, and interior wall, patio, trim. Okay, landscape, foundation, furnitures, all those things. Okay, so this is a group. Okay, so the model is completely inside the group here. So we don't need to worry about this. Okay, just explaining you how outliner works. Okay, these things you will be mostly using on modeling part. Okay, in modeling part we always use outliner, and even in lighting part, but the more how to create a group, okay, and how to ungroup, all those things will be in your basic classes. Okay, so now and in the right side you can see there are some layers. So you can see here there are some layers in the right side. Okay, in the display layers. Okay, the furnitures will be added into this layer. So you can see here, look into here. Okay, look this. Okay, the furniture is here. When I off the visibility, the furniture will be disabled. Okay, the hidden from the scene. Okay, this is what here. Okay, so that's fine. So these all are layers. Okay, so we no need to worry about the layers. Okay, and we have some more options where we can use it for lighting and rendering. I'll show you that. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a render setup before I add some lights. I'm going to do some render setup. So here in the top you can find the render settings. Okay, you might be familiar by right now. Clapboard with the gear symbol is a render settings. Okay, so this is the place where we decide, okay, what will be my output, how will be my output. Okay, so the file output, you can choose which format image you want. Okay, you want image sequence or EXR file, TIFF, GIF. Okay, all the things will be decided over here. Okay, so for now I'm not going to touch final output. Okay, so now look at here in the image size. Okay, so now I'm going to work with the image size. Okay, so by default it will be in HD 540. So if you want to take full HD image, okay, no need to follow me the same image settings. So if you want bigger resolution image, if you have a good computer, good specification computer, then you can go with full HD screen. Okay, that will be here, HD here, 1920 by 1080. It will be a huge image. It will be a HD image, right? So now I'm just going to switch to HD 540. Okay, by default I just want to work with the HD 540 because I don't want, this is just for teaching purpose and it is not for my client. So if I'm just giving for my client, then I will be working with the HD. Okay, so this is not for the client, it is for the teaching purpose. Okay, but if you want, you can go with any format, any resolution you want. Okay, that's up to you. Okay, no need to stick with the same preset which I am using here in the under the image size. And no need to, if you want, if your client asks for 150 dpi or 300 dpi, then you can change from here. But mostly I tell you, there is your client cannot find difference between 150 dpi and 70 dpi. Okay, so I always recommend you to go with 72 pixels per okay, the resolution DPI. Okay, 72 pixels per inch. Okay, so display pixel. Okay, so here if you want, you can increase if your client asks for more resolution. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Okay, those are very minute detail, they cannot find it. Okay, so here, or you can say that yes, I have just rendered for 150 dpi, and you can take for 72 dpi and you can charge money, extra money. Okay, you can say that I have rendered in 150 dpi, so the cost will be high. So you can play tricks there with your client. Okay, so the renderable camera, okay, I didn't created any camera yet, so I don't want to select any camera right now. Okay, we will switch back again to render settings to select the camera. Okay, before that I just want to make a deep basic settings. Okay, before I start lighting. Okay, so now switch to Arnold render. Okay, render setting has so many tabs. The first one is common. Common has the image size, image, the camera frames. Okay, the output. Okay, file output, all those details will be in the common, which is common, very common. Okay, so you can understand by the name the common settings. Okay, and the Arnold settings, which is purely based on the renderer settings. Okay, the Arnold settings. Okay, how your image going to be rendered. Okay, it will be it will it will it will be depending on these settings. Okay, if you add more setting on this, okay, the render time will be increased. So now at the beginning, why I opened the render setting is because I want to reduce render time. Okay, and once I get the proper lighting conditions in my scene, once I am very happy with lighting positions and light output, then I will increase these settings and I will hit to the final render. So till the final render, I'm just going to use a basic less setting. Okay, so here the camera for 3, okay, it will take more render time. So I'm just going to make it as a 1. Okay, and the diffuse means the color. Oh God. The color, okay, the diffuse the color. Okay, how your color want to looks like in the scene. Okay, so for now, okay, I want I can manage with the less color. So I just want to work with the diffuse one. Okay, and you can see a specular, you know that the metal things, okay, all those things will be related with that specular, and something kind of glossy, okay, those things will be with the specular. Okay, okay, and the transmission, I want to just make transmission to 1. Okay, I'm just using basic setting, guys. You can see that if I move more little further left side, it will become 0. So with the 0, I cannot get the output, but that's why I'm using the 1 value, which is very least value in my render setting. Okay, and you can see the transmission. Okay, so the transmission is purely based on the reflection and refraction. Okay, so we have glasses here. Okay, glass windows here. So there is a reflection and refraction. So I just want to reduce some transmission. Okay, and below the transmission, you can find SSS. Okay, subsurface scattering. Okay, we don't have any subsurface scattering. Okay, this will be in the later part of the classes. Okay, this has some advanced option. So we will just get back to the subsurface scatter later. Okay, so I want to just make it as 0. I don't have any subsurface scatter over here, and we don't have volume in indirect. So I'm just gonna make this to 0. So I just made as a 0 here. Now under the sampling, I'm just working under the sampling. You can find camera, diffuse, specular, transmission. Okay, all those things under sampling. Okay, and now I'm just going to reduce some more settings. Okay, below that, find the ray depth. Okay, under ray depth, you can see here under ray depth, I want to just work with the total 10. Okay, in the previous classes, I told you I work with the 10 value. Okay, the default value. It doesn't matter. Okay, and I want to just reduce the diffuse to 2 and transmission to 8. Okay, and I want to just, you can use 7, 8, okay, or 6. Okay, it depends on that. I told you transmission means reflection and refraction. So I want need some detail. Okay, the diffuse means, okay, under the ray depth, diffuse means, okay, how many times it going to sample the scene. Okay, in the diffuse. Okay, it will just buffer many times. Okay, 2 times. Okay, in the diffuse, in the color, it will render for the 2 times. Okay, it will buffer for the 2 times. In the specular place, okay, it will buffer for the 2 times, and in the transmission, it will buffer for the 8 times. Okay, so then only I can get some glass detail. That's why I added some little bit extra value than others. Okay, so this depends on diffuse and specular. Depends on how much times I need my light to bounce here. Okay, I just want to light my I would just want to bounce my light for the 2 samples. Okay, 2 times. Okay, so that's why I just added into basic settings. Once this setting is done, okay, guys, always make sure under the render using, okay, you're working with the R0. Okay, and you can see here system. Okay, in the system, no need to change anything. Okay, it depends on your I always recommend you to go with the default settings. We don't need to change this scanning. Okay, it will be spiral scanning. Okay, I'll explain you this one. Okay, don't worry for now. Okay, and you can see that AOV here. Okay, we don't need to work over here. I'll just, we are going to work these things later on. Okay, this has some more advanced options here, and diagnosis is, okay, some settings over here. Okay, all these 3, let it be default. Okay, we just need to consider these 2 at the beginning time. Okay, now once this setup is done, now I'm going to close my render settings. Okay, so now it's time to create a camera. Okay, so now go to create. Under the camera, you can find camera. Previously we created this camera here. Okay, by this time I'm just going to create camera and aim. Okay, what is camera and aim? Now I'm going to create, okay, I'll just show you some difference between 2 cameras here. when I hit camera here, okay, it just says it is a camera 1. And when I create camera and aim, okay, you can see that it is a group. And when you just click on this plus symbol, okay, the group opens here. So there is a camera and there is a aim here. So let's see what is the purpose of these two. So now I'm going to delete my cameras. I'm going to create a new camera. Go to create camera and aim. So I have created a camera and aim here. Okay, inside that camera 1, and there is camera 1 aim. So let's see what is that. Okay, so when I hit space bar, okay, you know guys, by this evening, my middle mouse button is not working. So I'm just panning my view from here. Okay, panning my view from here in the dolly shot. Okay, so you can see that my camera is over here, W. So when I move it, in the top here, you can see the camera here. Now you can, when I click the camera, you can see a camera over here. Okay, there is a camera. And when I click on the aim, there is an aim over here. Okay, there is just a small dot here. Okay, so the point is why I'm showing you this in the close view is because, okay, guys, you no need to choose this tool. Okay, your mouse click works, right? Middle mouse button works. So hold command key and middle mouse button. You can just pan your view. Okay, so here you can see that there is a aim. So when I select the aim is selected here. And when I move the aim, the camera view moves. You can see here, right? So by this way, I can adjust my proper view, or you can even you can move your camera, but the aim is at the center position where it used to be. The aim is not moving. You can see here. Okay, but when I just move the aim, okay, camera aim, the camera moves. You can see here. Okay, look here. Yeah, and when I just move the camera, okay, the focus point is over in the same position. Okay, this is something kind of target. Okay, the camera target, the camera, you can consider this aim as a target. Okay, the camera target here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this camera. Okay, I want to just work with the default. Yeah, so select the camera group, and you can see that my camera is very small. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scale it up. Okay, I'm going to scale it up. Okay, I want to just scale my camera alone. So I want to just scale my camera to 30 something. Okay, where I can see, yeah. So my camera is visible right now. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, okay, I'm just going to select the aim. Okay, select the aim. I'm going to position it at the center of the house. You can see here. Okay, in the center of the house, I'm going to position my aim. So here I have just added over here, and now I'm just going to move my camera. Okay, so moving from here, it's a little bit difficult. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm just looking through the perspective camera. So now I'm going to change this view to camera 1. You can see here at the bottom, it's a perspective view. So I'm going to hit panel. Under the perspective, you can choose camera 1. So now you can see the view. Okay, in what view your camera is looking at. So now it's space bar. Okay, and oh, and here you can just adjust your camera. Okay, I'm just getting my view. Okay, some kind of proper view which I want, which I'm just trying to get it. Yeah, so this view in the top side is fine, and so I'm just making some zoom out. Yeah, so this is fine. Okay, and I want to just, yeah, so I want to just rotate some camera, rotate a bit. Okay, so that I can get some more view here. You can see this view here. Okay, so oh, so I can only rotate from the aim. Okay, still I'm just trying to get a proper view here. Yeah, so this view is fine. Okay, so I got a proper view over here. Okay, okay, fine. So now I have just positioned my camera properly. Okay, so now select the camera and go to attribute editor. Okay, in the last, okay, left side, you can find attribute editor where you can do some camera settings here. And guys, here under the camera attribute, you can find uh, camera angle views and all. Okay, where I can just change this. Okay, I don't want to change the angle of view. The focal length, you can see that. Okay, this is something kind of real settings which is related to your camera here. Okay, so if you just increase it. Okay, maybe I can get some 15. So here you can see that we were working on the attribute editor of attribute of camera one. Okay, and you can see that. Okay, if you want a wider screen, okay, wider frame, then you can just reduce the focal length, and if you increase the focal length, then you will be getting some sophisticated view. Okay, so it depends on what kind of focal length you wanted. Okay, depends on the camera. you want wider angle, just reduce the value. If you need proper mid shot or some kind of closed up shots, then you can just increase the view. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to work in between some 30 to 25 to 30 in any number between. Yeah, this looks good. This view is also good, but I don't like a camera position. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just using a focal length to 28. You can use any, depends on what kind of camera angle you wanted. Okay, camera view you wanted. Wide angle means you have to reduce the view. I'm just showing you where you can interact with the camera settings. Okay, so here I want to just reduce this focal length to 30 or nearby to 30. Okay, and even 30 will be fine. Okay, yeah, but I want to view some more trees over here, so that's why I choose 26. Okay, you can go with 26 or 28. It's up to you. Okay, so some of the trees over here, some of the trees over here. Okay, you can choose the view according to your choice. Okay, so now I want to just select the aim. Okay, the aim, and I want to just do some settings over here. Okay, I'm not happy with this view, so I want to just so it runs too fast. Somewhere around 300. Yeah, so this is fine. I find this view is more interesting. Now you can see that I can see some more trees over here. Previously, I was just getting some less tree with this view. Okay, so I adjusted my camera and camera aim. Okay, so once it is done, just save your scene. Okay, save your file. And now we are just going to move to add the scene. Okay, we are just going to brighten the scene. Okay, we didn't added any light into the scene. Okay, so I'm just going to add some light source into my scene. Before that, select the camera one and lock your camera. So my camera is locked right now. Sorry, so I was getting just camera attributes. So I want to just hit lock camera so that I cannot move or rotate or pan my view. So my camera is locked. So guys, always remember to lock the camera once you freeze the frame, because sometimes by mistake you just pan the view and you will just lose your proper view. You spend so much time to make a proper view. Making view in the frame is really a difficult task. And now go to view, under camera settings, enable resolution gate. Okay, or you can enable from here. Okay, this is a resolution gate. Okay, I'm using 960 by 540. Okay, this is the view. This is the place where I'm going, the inside things will be rendered and the gray region will not be rendered. Okay, this is my view, render view. So once it is done, okay, excuse me. Now I'm just going to make some light source into the scene. And you can see that the background is completely empty. Look at the top. Okay, at the top of the house, you can see that it's completely empty space. It's nothing here, right? Okay, you can see that it's nothing. Okay, so I'm just going to add some environment here. So go to Arnold. Okay, under the Arnold, find lights. Under the light, I'm going to create a sky dome. Okay, what is sky dome here? Okay, it is something like a Earth. Okay, it's spherical atmosphere where, okay guys, now I cannot move my view because it is a camera one and camera one is locked. So I'm going to panel, perspective view, and I'm going to switch my view to a perspective so that I can freely move my camera. And you can see that your render camera is here. Okay, so now you can see that I have a sky dome, and the thing is, the scene is not fit inside the sky dome. Okay, So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to scale up. Okay, hit R. Okay, or you can use this tool, hit R and scale up. Scale up from the center. Do not pull any one axis. Okay, your spherical shape will be missing. Okay, so always, okay, the center point is X, Y, Z together. So I'm just going to scale up. Okay, so that my environment is inside the view, and I'm going to move it. Okay, better I'll just take a reference of the top view so that I can position it properly. Yeah. So this environment, my scene is completely inside my sphere. Okay, so this is fine. So even in all the view, it looks fine. So now I'm going to switch back to perspective. Okay, panel, perspective, and camera. So now you can see that your sky dome is set over here. Okay, now I'm going to hit render. Go to Arnold and hit open render view. And here you can see that, guys, it is my previous render. So we were just showing, which I showed you earlier, right? So that's what. So guys, you can see that the image quality is not good. You can see here. Okay, without sky dome, I'm going to just off my sky dome. Okay. Oh God. Yeah, fine. I'm just going to save my scene because I'm scared it will be it may crash. Saved my scene, and when you see that there is no light in the scene, okay, it looks dark. Okay, my render is completed. Okay, but still it's dark. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add my sky dome. Okay, so change the sky dome to 1. So the 1 means it will be visibility on. Just hit render. Okay, you can see the render here. Okay, now we are rendering through Arnold render view. We are getting the image through the render view. Okay, I have another trick. Okay, another way to render your scene. Okay, when you see here in the renderer, something is loading. When you see in the viewport, okay, this is my camera one. Under the camera one viewport, okay, you can find renderer, and here you can choose Arnold renderer. When you just click on the Arnold renderer, there is a pop-up here. Okay, when you click play button over here, okay, your scene will be rendered. Okay, there won't be any new window. Okay, you can see that your scene will be rendered here. Okay, so this is the advantage of Arnold. Previously, I told you, right? Arnold is really powerful and fast renderer. Okay, so now I'm getting some idea here. Okay, so now what I'm getting is, okay, my light is added, and the basic, the sky dome is added, and my scene has some light. Okay, so stop the Arnold view renderer. Okay, and switch back to viewport 2.0. Viewport 2.0 is just a basic view. Okay, and the viewport, just a normal default viewport. Okay, and here now the next step is select the sky dome. Okay, once you created a sky dome, okay, just try test render. Okay, your scene will be visible in the render. Okay, and the second step, I want to add environment here. Okay, when I just hit render, you can see that, okay, the background will be completely white. Okay, it doesn't look like a sky. Okay, so I want to add some sky over here. Okay, so I want to just stop the render. Okay, and I just switch to viewport 2.0, and now you can now select the sky dome here. Okay, you can click on the viewport, or you can select from the outliner. Once you select from the outliner, go to attribute. Okay, under the sky dome attribute, under the color, okay, you can find checker box. just open the checker box and find file. Okay, at the top, okay, you can find file. Okay, here, just to open the file, and here under the file attribute, under image name, you can find folder. Okay, you can see a folder button here. Just click on this folder. Now you can choose your texture. Okay, guys, once you set project folder, okay, it will just directly show you the source image folder. If you forget to set project folder, this folder won't be opened when you open from the Maya. Okay, this is what beauty of Maya here. Okay, so I want to just find out where is my I just forgot the name of my texture. Yeah, it's sunrise view. Okay, sunrise view. Okay, I'm just going to click open. Okay, sunrise view environment. It's a HDR image. Okay, and I'm just adding HDRI image into my background. Okay, in the sky dome. So now you can see that there is a proper background over here. Okay, you can see something like a sky. Okay, sky and some light coming from the sky. And now let's do a render. Okay, test render here. So here, once we render it, okay, it looks a little bit beautiful, right? So yeah, this is fine. But the only thing is, okay, I have to find out where is my um, sun sources. Okay, in the image, okay, there is a sun source, right? So let's find where is the sun source over here. Now I'm just switching back to perspective view. Okay, over here you can find from the inside. Okay, okay, here is the sun. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate some of the position of sky dome. Okay, when I render it. Okay, now switch back to camera. Okay, now here again render, Arnold render. I'm just guys, I'm rendering in the scene here. Okay, I'm just going to hit rotate button so that you can see some lights over here, right? Oh, the sun reflection is over here. You can see a sunspot over here. Okay, I'm just moving towards the left side of the screen here, so that I will get some beautiful sun reflection over my window. Okay, I want just to stop the render, and I want to just find out where is my sun's position is right now. Okay, so change the perspective to change the panel to perspective window, and here you can find, okay, so some more tweaks I have to do it about the sun. So here I'm just finding the proper position of the sky. Okay, so here maybe you can just rotate a bit. Okay, okay. So now I want to just do some test render. Okay, when I was just doing Arnold render, okay, my computer was just lagging, so that's why I just stopped and I'm just working some approximately here. Okay, so yeah, so I'm just getting some kind of output here. You can see that the glasses has some kind of reflection with the sky. Okay, the sun's reflection over here. I'll just show you the difference. Just remember here there is a yellow shade in the window. So select the sky dome. I just move it somewhere. Okay, so now I'm not getting some kind of reflection over here. You can see that. Okay, so the glass is completely black. Okay, and even in the front side. Okay, so that's why I just want to just rotate a bit. Okay, maybe if you have a good computer, then you can find out proper dynamic render whenever you adjust the light. Okay, for me, just yeah. So now you can see that there is a shade here. Okay, so you can it's minus 17. Maybe you can use, yeah, 17 is fine. Okay, so I'm just getting good render over here. Okay, so now I want to just stop the render. Okay, the render is done over here. Okay, so now we have just created sky dome, and we have added HDRI image over here. The HDRI image is added in the background of the dome. Okay, and now once it is done, now I want to switch back to viewport 2.0. And guys, whenever you do lighting rendering, okay, save your files always. Okay, so now once it is done, now we are going to add a key light. Okay, what will be my source of light? Okay, this time, okay, every time we used a directional light for the key light, remember? Okay, some lights which comes from the exterior, okay, through interior, those times we used directional light. Okay, it's something similar like a sun, which I told you in the last class. But this class, I'm not going to use directional light. Instead of using directional light, I'm just going to use area light. Okay, area light, I told you in the Arnold, there is a light. Okay, under the lights, you can find area light. So here, I want to just use area light here. So guys, you know what? Lighting and rendering skills needed even rigging skills. Okay, there are some rigging skills are there. Okay, which you have to um, learn over here. Okay, which you can apply over here. Okay, so I want to just this light looks so small, so I want to just scale up. Okay, scale up around 150. Okay, and you can see that the light is in the square shape. Okay, so what I'm going to make is something similar to the sun. Okay, I'm just making something which is similar to the sunlight. Okay, so it should be circular, right? So uh, here you can find the shape of the area light is square. Okay, so select the light. Okay, and go to attribute editor, and under the attribute editor you can find light shape. Under Arnold area light attribute, you can find light shape. It is a quad. Quad means just four sides. Okay, four sides is called quad. You can change it as a cylinder. Okay, even you can change it as a disk, which we are going to work with the disk. So change the area light shape to disk. Okay, and now once it is done, now I want to just position it in this proper place. So when I hit render, let's see, guys, now my camera has aim. You can see that. Okay, how aim works. Okay, how this works. This is a default, right? Okay, this is a default. How can I create something similar? Okay, so for that, we need some rigging skills. Okay, the same things I'm going to show you for area light. Okay, so wherever I move the point, the light rotates. Okay, so the same thing you find over here, right? So wherever you moves the point, your camera moves. You can see here. Okay, so the similar, I want to just focus. Okay, I want to make some target. Okay, previously whenever we used to work with mental ray lights, okay, if you hit T from the keyboard, okay, you get the target. But for the Arnold, we don't have some target kind of option. So we have to use some Maya skills. Okay, so now I'm going to create locator. Locator is nothing but just, um, actually, locator is something just kind of just thing you can see here. Okay, some kind of shape. Okay, so this is a locator. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to scale down a bit. Okay, so make sure your locator is selected first. Make sure locator is selected first. Hold shift key and select the area light. Okay, select the area light, and now change. Okay, go to at the top of the screen you can find the drop box. Okay, and here you can change this to rigging. Change this to rigging, and after that go to constraint. Oh, God. So go to constraint and choose aim. Guys, remember before you choose aim, okay, aim constraint, make sure you selected the locator first, then hold shift, select the light second, and then select aim. Okay, then only it works. If you select the light first and if you just select this locator second, then whenever you move the light, it will rotate. Okay, our purpose is whenever I move the locator, my light have to turn. Getting? So this is what our just work is. Okay, so I'll just repeat again. Okay, I repeat again. Okay, now go to make sure you selected the locator first. Select the locator first, and then hold shift, select the light, and go to rigging. Okay, go to constraint. Under the aim, just click open box here, and make sure maintain offset is on. Maintain offset is on, and now hit add. Okay, if you forget to do maintain offset, then it will rotate somewhere else. Okay, the light will rotate somewhere else. Okay, these things, this technique you will learn in the rigging class, so be patient. Okay, so you will learn what are these things, okay, in detail in the other class. Okay, in the rigging classes, as I told you, lighting and rendering needs all the skills together. Okay, so I am teaching you. So now when I move the locator, okay, the light rotates. You can see here. You see here. Okay, so this is the beauty of the locator and then the constraint. Okay, now I'm just going to switch this to modeling, or you can switch this to rendering. Okay, you'll get all the tools which is related to rendering part. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust my light. So select the area light. Okay, I'm just trying to position it along my the place of the sun. Okay, so I'm just trying to position it something like a sun. Okay, it's fine here. So maybe I can just switch back to perspective view. Go to perspective and just choose perspective camera, and here you can see that, yeah. So it's something nearly like a sun here, right? So it's done. Now switch back to camera one. Okay, this is the view we just gonna get, and I'll just hit light over here. Again, I want to switch back to perspective camera. I want to find out the position of the sun. Move somewhere. You can see here. Oh, okay, fine. So, okay, so now switch back to camera one, and now I want to just hit render. Before that, hit save. Go to renderer, hit Arnold, and when you play this button, okay, you can get render in your view, in the viewport. So you can see some of the shadows detail over here. Okay, it's kind of missing over here. Maybe you can hit render. You can render from here, or you can go to Arnold and you can open the render view. Okay, Arnold render view will be more faster. Okay, this looks a little bit slower. You can see here. Okay, it is rendering now. This work, you can see here, the computer is taking performance and it is reading your data. Okay, whatever you created in the scene, and it is applying in the render, which gives you final output. So you can see here it takes much of the time, so I just stopped it. Okay. So here you can see that we got a render. Okay, this is just a draft render. We are not going to get some quality render over here. But you can see here the shadow is over here. Okay, the shadow has very mild detail here. So I want to just adjust uh, some more of my sunlight. Okay, which we created as an area light over here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to rename it as sunlight, so that I can understand which is my light is. Okay, so over here, I want to just select the locator, and I want to just try to just make it something like a light is falling from the top angle, so that I'll get this shadow over here. Okay, so I want to just hit render, Arnold, render view. Yeah, we are getting some kind of shadows over here. Okay, fine. Yeah. So again, do a test render. I'm just trying to find out where my shadow falls. Okay, where my shadow is falling over here. So this time what I want to do is I'm just going to stop it. Okay, this has some kind of a blurred options over here, right? Oh, so my render was not completed yet. So here you can see this is the render. Okay, so I have stopped in the half because it takes a lot of time. Okay, I just want to show you the methods here. Then once I add proper settings, then I can add the proper render. Now you can see that it has some light towards over here. Okay, so I want to just stop my render, and I want to just close it. Okay, select sunlight. Okay, in the right side you can find attribute editor. Okay, I don't find any proper promising lights in the scene because of the sun. Okay, because I didn't increase any exposure. Exposure is completely zero. So I want to just increase my exposure to 20. Okay, and I want to just increase some intensity over here. Okay, around 4 to 5. Okay, let me just take a render first. Then we will decide to work some more with um, the render here. Okay, so it's still rendering. Okay, I have 16 GB RAM and 2 GB graphic card, but still it is insufficient for the render performance. So it needs some more some more additional um, configuration for the computer. Okay, so now it's just rendering it. Around intensity, I can use around 5 to 6 or 7 maybe. Okay, if you increase the exposure, then you can find out. Now my scene is a little bit brightened. Okay, so we have to wait for the render. So here you can see that our render is done. Okay, so we are getting some soft shadows in the front over here. Okay, you can see here the shadows is falling over here. Okay, so I have just positioned my sun towards from the top angle and it's falling towards the ground. So I'm getting some kind of shadow over here. Okay, so this is so we just added our sunlight. Okay, the sunlight is done. And guys, I want to recommend you, if you have a low performance computer, okay, the specification is less specification computer like me, okay, then always go with Arnold render view. Okay, do not do viewport rendering, okay, because once you stop it, okay, you will lose everything. Again, you have to hit render. But in order to get your previous output, okay, to visualize, okay, you can visualize from here. Okay, so don't render if your computer performance is not good, okay, in the viewport. Okay, so fine. So now, so when look into the image, okay, when you look, and here what I did is, okay, under the view test resolution, I just made as a 50 percentage. Okay, it should be 100 percentage, right, in the first class or second class. Yeah, in the second class I have explained you about the text test resolution. So I have made it at 50 so that my render will be a little bit faster, okay, while I'm doing test render. Okay, I don't need much quality. I just need, I just want to see how my light works in the scene. Okay, so now I can see a light, okay, and the shadows, okay, everything, okay. So this detail is fine for me when I'm just setting up the lights. Okay, so now what I find is I have added the sunlight, but look at into this wall. Okay, this wall looks dark. Okay, so I want to make it a little bit brighter over here, and look into the garage portion. Okay, it looks dark. So I want to just make it a little bit brighter over here. So let's begin with that. Okay, so for that also I want to just do uh, I want to just create light the same as the area light. Okay, and now I want to just switch back to perspective because it is a camera one where I cannot move my view because it is locked. And here switch back to perspective, and here you can see, I will just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, yeah, yeah, this is fine. Okay, so now I want to just project this light over this wall. So obviously I have to rotate this light towards this wall, okay, around 90 degree. Okay, so you can just make it as a 90 degree in the Y, so it will be perfect uh, in the direction of your wall. Okay, and guys, you know that area light, okay, the quartz shape, it has a direction of the light. So this direction, the light is moving here. Okay, so make sure you works properly. If you just turn in this side, the light will be bleached over the right side. So I want to make towards the left side. So here, I want to just work with some intensity here. So select the area light and change a light name. Okay, guys, always make a habit of working with proper naming. Okay, center light. So it's up to you. Okay, you can give any names. Okay, it's fine. I want to just increase some intensity. Okay, around 18 or 25. So here, when I just save the scene, Okay, I have just saved the scene. Send this to camera one. Go to Arnold, hit Arnold. So I want to just make a render here. Oh, it's too dark. You can see it's too heavy intensity. It has more intensity. So I don't need to continue my render. You can see that the light is bleaching white over here. So stop the render. I know the exact value, but I just want to make a habit of teaching you with some experiments. So I want to just work around 20. So here Arnold, review. So I want to just hit render. Yeah, this looks fine. Okay, I don't have much light in the center, but look into the wall side. Okay, this wall, okay, is light brown over here, but this has more white. That means this region has more intensity, right? So I want to just reduce some more intensity. Guys, I'm just comparing the wall. The sunlight directly hit this wall, but still this wall has less light. Okay, here in the side light, the sun never falls, right? Sunlight is not directly falling over here. It's just a bouncing light. So when I add bouncing light, it should not be more intensity than the direct key light. So you can find the two difference. Okay, how I'm just finding it's just experience. Okay, I have analyzed my scene properly. Okay, so this wall has less intensity and this wall has more intensity. So obviously we have to reduce some more exposure of the bouncing light. So I want to just reduce to some 18 to 16. Yeah, and now I want to just save my scene and I want to just hit render. Guys, whenever you hit render, save your scene and then hit render. Yeah, now this is fine. Now look at here. This region has less intensity than the direct key light wall. Okay, the sunlight is directly hitting over here in this wall, and this wall has less intensity. That means this settings will be working properly. So yeah, this is good. Okay, so let the render to be completed. Okay, I'm just going to wait for the render to be complete. So it almost took 5 minutes to render this frame. Now you can see that this wall is a little bit brightened, okay, than the earlier. Okay, this is the proper view. Okay, now you can see that the garage has more dark, right? So we are going to add the same light over there. Okay, so I want to switch back to perspective view so that I can just duplicate it, hit Control D or Command D from your Mac, and you can just position it inside so that this region will be brightened. But yeah, oh, I just made, oh, I have made it center light over here. So I should just rename over here. Center light, and this will be garage light. Okay, so I have just renamed it. Okay, so guys, so you can see here. So I have just made it a garage light. Okay, so here this room is completely dark. You can see here, this is completely dark. Okay, so that's why I used intensity as 1. Okay, here I used intensity as 1 because you can see here this scene is the exterior one. Okay, it is already brightened one. So I don't need to increase much intensity. Okay, when you do a test render, okay, just increase more intensity for the center light and just see what is happening. Okay, so I know the value, so that's why I didn't added it. So for this garage, okay, it's an interior, there is no source of light inside. Okay, so the intensity one will be too less. So what we're going to do is you can increase from 1.5 to 2. Any numbers between 1.5 to 2, it will be very good for garage inside. Okay, so make sure you have selected the garage light, and your intensity is 1.6 or 1. In between to 1.5 to 2. Okay, and exposure I want to just use the same 16. 16 is fine. And instead of rendering the complete frame, I want to just hold shift key, left click, and I want to just drag. Guys, now you can see that uh, towards the glass. Okay, the glass doesn't looks like proper glass here. Okay, I just added very transparency glass. It looks like a solid glass because it doesn't have um, light from the inside. Okay, the light whichever added as a sun. Okay, it goes inside and it just bounces in the uh, inside, and it just reflect out backside, right? So it is not happening over here. And even you can see here in the left side of this room. Okay, both room looks dark, and even it doesn't have proper kind of mm, glass effect. Okay, so for that we are going to add light inside the room. Okay, so I want to just close the render, or maybe I can wait for the render to complete. So the render is done. Okay, it took 6 minutes 41 seconds, and you can see here the glass looks solid. Okay, but this is not a solid glass, so we need to add some interior light so that we will get some good output towards the window. So what I'm going to do is I'm just um, uh, yeah. So this is fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some light. Okay. So I'm going to switch back to my perspective camera, and here I'm going to just create area light, here. And you can see that the area light is a little bit smaller. That's fine. Okay. And you know that um, the tangent. Okay, so you can see that the light is passing towards this direction. So I'm just going to place this area light inside my scene, inside my room, and I'm just going to scale down. I'm just going to scale it proper. Yeah, and I'm going to just rotate in y direction for 45 degree, around 45 degrees, so that it will just looks like it is just facing towards the light is coming towards the window. Okay, so here you can see the reference here. Okay, this is the wall. Okay, so I've added over here, and I want to rename it as uh, interior light one. And here inside the attribute, I'm just going to increase some settings over here. Okay, and before that I want to just check it the height of the light. Okay, so I want to just scale up. Yeah, so this is fine. So now, you know what, my perspective view has some problem with that. Okay, so that's okay. So now I want to just switch back to camera one. So you can see that I have added the light inside. Okay, so interior light one, and I want to just adjust with some scale. Okay, so nearly to the height of the building. Okay, and I have just reduced the width of the light so that it will fit towards the direction. Okay, and now I want to just hit render. Okay, so change this to camera one, or okay, or else you will just whatever you will get render whatever your view is. Okay, it may be a perspective cam or anything. So for that, okay, by default it will be selected as a perspective shape. Perspective shape means perspective camera will be rendered by default. Okay, change this to camera shape one by default. Okay, so it will just render your camera shape one. So now I'm just going to hit render so that we can check how we are getting the window. So now you can see that my window is brightened uh, from the earlier, but before that I want to do some settings for the light. So I didn't add any intensity to the light. Okay, so it will be just mild difference. So I want to get some good output. Okay, good difference. See, the exposure is 0. So I want to add exposure to 20, and intensity I'm going to just work around 0.8 to 7. Okay, so 0.7 is fine. Okay, and I want to just hit render right now. So Control S to save your file, and now you can hit render. Now it's rendering. We'll wait for the render to complete. Once it is done, we'll just proceed to the next. Now you can see the difference. Okay, there are some light emitting from the inside. Okay, and in the other window, you can see it is completely dark. It doesn't look like solid glass now. So it looks proper glass. So fine. So now let the render to be completed. Once it is done, we will proceed with the next slide. So now you can see that our render is done. Now you can find the difference between the earlier render and the recent render. Okay, so you can see here this glass is completely looks like solid glass, and now it looks good. But the thing is, I have to add some more lights over here. You can see that this region it has more intensity and this has low intensity. So there is no light coming from this side. Okay, so we will add one more area light over here, and we will try to render it. Okay, so now, and remember, okay, the sunlight is hitting directly on this wall. So this wall is completely solid wall. So the intensity of inside the backside this light will be less than this light. Okay, so example. um, Change this to perspective, and look at here, this wall behind I want to just place one more light. So hit Control D or Command D from your Mac and switch back to top view so that I can rotate my light. So it's here, and you can see that this is a window and this is a window here. Okay, so here there is no window. So must be this light must be less intensity than this interior light one. So go to attributes, and here I want to just reduce the intensity to the half, like 3.5 or something, or 3. So I use 0.3, 0.3, and now switch back to the render view. Okay, I have selected my camera shape. I want to render camera shape 1, and this time I'm not going to render complete scene because there is no changes will be in the other scene. There will be only changes in the interior light. So I'm just going to select this box. Okay, make this box this just square option enable. Okay, and I want to just render. Okay, where I can mark over here. Okay, this is called crop render. Okay, this is called crop render. So this now the render will happen only inside the box, not outside the place. So just hit render. So we'll wait for render to be done. So let me just change this to camera 1, and I want to just hit render. So we will wait for the render to be completed. So now you can see that the render is completed in 7 minutes 25 seconds. And the most important is look into the interior and the glass. Okay, it has the light is gradually increasing. The intensity of the light is gradually increasing from the left side to the right side. So this output makes it really good. And in the same side, you can see the sun reflection in the mirror here. Okay, so the same things we have to follow to the right side. Okay, let's just duplicate the light towards the other direction, and we'll just proceed to the next step. So select the interior light 2 and hit Control D so that it will be interior light 3. And I want to just add interior light 3 to over here. Inside this room. Okay, so you can see here. So inside this room, and I want to align it properly from the top angle so that, yeah, so it is fine. And you can see that this is not much open than this building. This is a little bit bigger hall, bigger room, and this is just a small room. So if I add the same intensity, okay, it will be too much intense. So to avoid that, okay, I'm just going to add. I'm just going to reduce some more intensity. Okay, previously the light one has a 7, and interior light 2 has 3, and interior light 3 will be below below 3. So I want just use 0.2, 0.2, or you can use from 0.25 to 0.3. Okay, it's up to you. So how much the light intensity you want inside this room, it's up to you. You have to take a choice. Okay, so I want to switch back to again I switch back to my camera view, and I'm going to Arnold render. Okay, open Arnold render, and now I'm just going to do a crop render so that I can render this part alone. Okay, and then I will just render the door part. So it started to render, and now you will find the difference between the previous render and the recent render right now. So it will take a while. So we'll wait for the render to be. So now guys, render is done. Now you can see the difference between difference with the two windows, and even you can add some lights to the center of the hall. Okay, for these windows, so that it will be more brighter. Okay, it will be your part. Okay, so you understand the settings of the central light, and even you can increase some more intensity for light 3, interior light 3. So this is the final light setup which I want, which I expected. Okay, the shadow is soft and everything is proper for right now. And now I want to just change this to now I want to just begin with final render setup. Okay, so now we have just rendered with 540 because render for to just optimize the render time. And now I want to just switch back to HD, uh, something like 1920 by 1080. So it will be our the render view. Okay, so now you can now go to the abnormal render settings. So here we will be making some final render setup. Okay, to get the final output. So I want, by default it will be 3. Okay, you see, you have seen it. Okay, so now I want just to increase to 4. Okay, I don't want to increase much of the camera setting. Okay, under the abnormal render, I'm working on the sampling. Okay, inside the sampling you can find camera, and I want to just increase the diffuse to 2 and samplings to 2 and transmission to 2. Okay, the same, the default one. And if you want the glass to get more detail, if you want more detail in the glass, then you can increase some more transmission. But I recommend you to go with 2, or else it will take more render time. And here under the ray depth, okay, total number of bouncing light, I just want to work with the default, and diffuse to 2, specular 2, and transmission to 8. Okay, if you are the same, if you want the glass detail, then you can increase some more. I recommend you to work with 6, value 6, 7, 8. In these 3 numbers, you can use any one number. Okay, so once it is done, now we can just hit render. Okay, you can render from here too. Okay, so click on this um, clap box. Okay, your render will begin, and make sure you have selected uh, Arnold render over here. Okay, so here you can see this is my final render, and I have added some more light in the center. So you can see that this is not darkened, and even I have just tweeted some more values over here. You guys just find out the exact value, or you just do some research. And this is what about the today's class. Okay, so um, these settings you will be familiar once you practice more. Guys, please practice more so that you'll get to know more settings. Okay, so how I'm getting these values? So I'm just doing some experiments. It is very important to understand the lighting values here. Okay, all the light has different properties, and you have to understand. You only understand when you spend more time on lighting and rendering part, and when you do more experiments. Okay, so this is what today's class. Okay, so guys, please spend more time on practice, and I'm giving you more time to practice. Okay, so every Thursday I will be giving you a complete video, and from Thursday to next Thursday you have 1 week of time. Okay, so you can practice a lot. And in the Tuesday's class, okay, I'll give you for practice. Okay, Tuesday class will be the live class. Okay, so you can do the same thing. Okay, or you can just experiment with the Thursday class uh, lectures technique on Tuesday's class. So you get a lot of time in between. Okay, so practice more, guys, and I will be there for you in Botium. You can ask me doubt anytime, and as many time you want. Okay, so until you get cleared with the doubt, I'll just try to help you to understand the things clearly. Okay, so you can message me anytime. Okay, once I check your message, I'll just reply you. So just be impatient and please practice, guys. Okay, thank you, guys. See you in the next class.